Hi everyone, we're at Pocket Gamer London 2026. I'm Dylan from HyprChats and I'm joined by Guido from X3M. Guido, welcome.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
For sure. Well, let's start with your career background, right? You started on the publisher side, now you're on the service provider side. Why don't you talk to us sort of what's working in this world of ad monetization and what isn't?
Well, I guess that there is a lot. I mean, from my experience on the publishing side, there are many things that are complex today in terms of what the publishers are looking for, that the current landscape of the ad monetization is not providing, and that is why we are seeing so many changes in the industry. I would love to say that for me, it's almost a miracle that the gaming industry is the second biggest in the entertainment business, in spite of the advertising itself, not because of the advertising. I guess that we have one of the worst implementation of the ad monetization strategy in comparison to any other media industry. And I guess that what we are seeing right now is a lot of changes because publishers are claiming for those changes. And because of that, I think that advertising becomes definitely the next booster for the industry because of all the wrong things that we did in the past. Definitely is the lowest hanging fruit that we still have today in the industry.
Got it. And you'd mentioned, right, there's kind of like this imbalance. When it comes to getting ads right in mobile apps and games, like why is it so hard for publishers to figure out this balance?
Because of maybe the same thing that I mentioned before. I mean, we have a so bad implementation of advertising in the business that the legacy environment wasn't prepared to deliver like ads in a good way. Basically because, I mean, this is not a complaint, but in the gaming industry that is pretty unique, the entire ecosystem was shaped by the demand side. You are not going to see other media business where the landscape was shaped by the demand. It is mainly shaped by the supply side because they are the owners of the audience. So from that perspective, it's difficult to find tools in the ecosystem that are pursuing honestly what the publishers are looking for. So that is the main reason why it's so hard to implement ads in the right way. Again, I mean, this is something that luckily is changing. Even on the demand side, they understood that something needs to change because we are harming a lot, like the nature material of this business that are the people, the audience. So I guess I am very confident that we are going to see that this challenge is going to be much easier in the upcoming years.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess in the short term now, right, like when ads do hurt the experience, in your opinion, what typically goes wrong?
Everything. I mean, and everything at once. I mean, obviously, like we can consider that we are showing a lot of ads. For me, that is a bad approach to the problem because if you see other businesses, they are showing much more ads than what we are showing in the gaming industry. The problem is the quality. I mean, when you see that the only thing that is taken in consideration is the performance, the IPMs that you get, and that comes to deceptive creatives, like endless creatives, X buttons that doesn't work or whatever. I mean, it's impossible to deliver a good experience. So that is basically what is going but the wrong. What is happening is that we are annoying the users with the kind of ads that we are showing them, and it's impossible to fix that in real time because, again, based on the shape of this industry was given by the demand side, publishers don't have tools to act in real time. They don't see what is going on in the process of the auction because they don't have a clue about who is buying the impression, what they are going to show, how the creative is going to be. And even if they can detect how this advertising is harming the experience, they don't have any tool to restrict that in real time. Everything is post-mortem. It's like, and it's very hard, and even more, you need to rely on ad quality tools that are provided by the those companies that typically profit from the bad experience. So everything is weird there.
Yeah. And I'm happy you mentioned that when it comes to sort of ad quality. I think a common thing that often has been coming up between publishers and ad networks is transparency. From what you've been seeing over the last few years, why is transparency so important when it comes to ad monetization?
I guess that it's so obvious that transparency is so relevant, basically because it's the mandatory change that we need to have in the market in order to start allowing publishers to make decisions in the process. If we really want to involve publishers in the decision making on the advertising, we need to give them transparency. I always try to picture how weird our industry is, trying to think that at the end of the day, publishers are not selling audience. They are renting time in their properties. And the best example that comes to my mind is like, think if you had an apartment and you give to an agent to rent it, and one day he comes and tells you, I have rented your apartment, but you don't know who is going to be there, how many time is going to stay there, or what they are going to do inside. It's so like stupid in a certain way that you finally get the idea that transparency is the only way to start participating in the publishers of the decision process.
Yeah.
That is why it's so important.
Absolutely. And you've been in the industry many years now. What is a common misconception that you're still hearing about ad monetization to this day?
Oh, there are a few. I guess that the one that is still annoying me is that the ad monetization for publishers is for free. I mean, there are today consequences, and by the way, I was there. I mean, I was part of the problem. I guess that is one of the worst things, because many of the things that we complain about today, I mean, including myself on the publishing side, were created by the publisher itself, because we consider that the technology that we were acquiring in a certain way was for free, and that is not true. We paid that technology with certain things that we didn't know that we were paying with those things in a certain mode. But I guess that the one that annoys me the more is the idea that bidding came to benefit the publisher. I mean, I stated this from the very first day. Bidding was a way to concentrate more power in certain companies and to improve the performance on the technical side, to reduce costs on the technical side for the demand sources, but it never brought the benefits that publishers were looking for. I have a bad news for publishers. If your revenue increased when everything shifted to bidding, it was because you were leaving money on the table before, not because bidding was bringing a benefit itself. So I guess that is another statement that annoys me a lot about the industry.
Absolutely. And last question here, as we're looking forward into 2026, what are some ways that you think teams will have to rethink ad monetization this year?
Well, I guess that it's pretty obvious that AI is like reshaping everything. And the new norm is that nothing is going to stay for good. I mean, everything is going to be changing all day long. So flexibility and being dynamic is going to be a must. I mean, nothing that you have like a wrote in stone or is hard coded in your titles is going to allow you to be a good performer. So I guess that the first thing is that the teams need to start thinking that they need to be much more flexible and dynamic. And on the other hand, I guess that combined with this statement, they need to start thinking about what tools they really have in order to deploy this strategy, because at the end of the day, if you are giving to certain platforms more responsibilities than what they really should do for you, is where you start feeling stuck. And there is where you need to detach in a certain way the responsibility of each player and say the strategy should be completely detached from certain pieces or certain building blocks that at the end of the day they are not aligned with or they have a clashes with your own interests. So you need to be sure that you are not misaligned in terms of the goals that every single player that you are placing in your stack has, and that at the end of the day you are capable of delivering a good and flexible strategy, having the possibility of making changes on the fly, deciding what is going to be the best for you.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, Guido, I appreciate the time and the insights in the chat. If there's anything you're working on, would be great to hear as well for 2026.
Thank you so much. Well, everybody knows Lumit and what we are delivering. I mean, this idea of detaching the ad monetization strategy itself from the what you have hard-coded in your game. So this is what we brought during 2025 and what made us to grow a lot. This year, we are like creating a much more comprehensive solution, including new functionalities. We are working on, well, everybody knows this, we are working on including offer walls in our offering. We are working in anti-fraud. We are working in bringing back cross-promotion to the games in a much more efficient way using native ad formats. So there are a lot of things that are coming, and I guess that the greatest news is that this year we are going to work in our marketplace. So this flexibility that we are giving to the publishers in terms of choosing among different mediation platforms is going to combine this with other tools, ad quality tools, MMPs, and other analytics. So it's going to be a very interesting year for publishers that are working with us.
Yeah, excellent. Well, it sounds very exciting, and good luck with the rest of 2026.
Thank you so much for the time.